So there's this thing called the GMTK Game Jam, and in 2023, over the weekend of July 7th to July 9th, there was the Game Jam happened, and let's see, it's September now, almost October. So yeah, perfect time to talk about my entry into the GMTK Game Jam. So I entered the game jam and noticed that it was starting on the 7th, which is a Friday. I work Friday nights. So unfortunately, it didn't start at July 7th at 1 p.m. Instead, it started more like July 8th at noon. So yeah, I missed out on about almost 24 hours worth of the game jam. But the game jam's theme was roles reversed. So you take a roll that's normal and you reverse it. So my initial thought was that I would make like a game where you wanted your character to die and by dying progress the game somehow. Or maybe like there's a book that I liked as a kid and it was about one of the Sesame Street characters, Grover, and it was like there's a monster at the end of this book, and every time you turn, he's like, "No, don't go, don't turn the page," and he's like putting a brick wall up, and you turn the page, and the brick wall is destroyed, and then he ties a bunch of ropes, and you turn the page, and all the ropes are like wrapped around him, and so you never want to get to the end of the book, or Grover doesn't want you to get to the end of the book, but then at the end of the book, it's just Grover, so it's good, it's a good thing. So my thought was like, try to make a game where you want to lose, and by losing, you go backwards in the game. So you start at the end of the game, and if you just finish the level, then you win. But the level like actively wants you to win. It's trying to get you to win. So if you try to jump on a spike, it moves out of the way. And so there's like it's basically a puzzle. And I thought that was a great idea. And then I thought that's a lot of work. So I didn't do that. Instead, I reached out to my friend and was like, "Hey, type. This is the theme for this year's game jam, and I'm already very late. Do you have an idea?" And I said, "You know what? Never mind. I'm just not gonna do it. I'm just not gonna do the game jam. I'm already a day late, so I really only have like a day left anyway. I'm just not gonna do it." And then my brother came downstairs, and my brother and my friend they bullied me into doing it anyway, and they said you should just do it. So I did it. Uh, and their ideas, or my friend's idea, his idea was, what if you did like a D&D game, but it's reversed, and somehow one of us had come up with the idea to be like a tavern keep, and we had both thought of this idea in the past independently, and so we kind of like nailed down this idea of like, what if I'm the keeper of a bar and heroes are coming to me and I'm telling them what mission they should go on. They go do the mission and then they come back either dead or not. And I was like, yeah, it's a great idea because you are not actually doing the combat. You're not the hero. You're just the barkeep. And I thought it was super original um, because it's never been done before. It definitely not by any popular games and definitely not by anyone else in the jam. Just me and me alone had came up with that idea. So yeah, that's what I did. But I also was thinking, I don't want to do art. I hate art. I make art all the time for my games, and it takes forever, and I don't like doing it. So I came up with this brilliant idea of what if instead of doing art, I didn't do art, and instead I just uh, drew it with crayons. So this is the first drawing that I did. Actually, no, that's a lie. That is not the first drawing I did. The first drawing I did was one of the wizards. This was the first drawing I did. And you'll see there's even lines through his face because it was on lined paper. And I did it with permanent marker because that's all I had at the time. And then I bought some colored pencils. I was going to do crayons, but I hate crayons because they get everywhere. And so I ended up doing colored pencils. And so the next one I drew was this ranger. And then I eventually drew this rogue character and this warlock looking character and this warrior-looking character. And I thought, I don't want to do much more than that, so I'm just going to have 6 classes. Warrior, Wizard, Ranger, Rogue, Warlock, and Cleric. The Cleric, I gotta say, he's my favorite. He looks like a creep, and I love it. And then I did more. I did, like, here's another Ranger I did, and another Warlock I did, and, I just kept doing more. But then I thought, I don't really want to do all these. This is so much work. I already don't like doing art. So I reached out to my friend and his wife, and then another one of my friends, and I said, "Hey, do you guys want to make some art for my game?" And so they made much better art. But I said, just make it like kids' drawings. And so this was one of my friends, and there, and here, and much, much, much better. But they only could do it in pencil because they didn't have colors. And then one of my friends only had crayons because their daughter has crayons. I'm pretty sure she stole her daughter's crayons. So she drew these. And then, yeah, I was pretty happy with that, but I needed a barkeep, so I drew this guy and a background. And so eventually what happened is
Smell the
this
spread.
was the game. This was the completed project that I worked on, or that I finally finished and submitted. I even added a little learn to play section that kind of walks you through, what you do and clicking. Pretty much just a point and click game as you do things, and then you go to the actual game. This is the actual game. So what's pretty cool is these characters are randomly generated. Their names are randomly generated. It tells you how many battles they survived, so you can kind of have an idea of how strong they are. Because one of the ideas was that I didn't want you to actually know what their health was or what their stats were, because you're the barkeep. You're not the actual person. So let's send these guys to fight some giant spiders. And so you can see, we gained some reputation because it turned green. Their names turned yellow, meaning they've taken some damage. And then, let's send them on another giant spiders. Oh, Hadley's almost dead, so we can give him some ale, and that'll heal him right up. Heal both of them up. And yeah, this was kind of the game. You trying to get 400 reputation to actually win. You can buy new patrons, so like there's another party, and we've sent them on a mission. These guys come back, but we still have another one, so let's send these guys on a mission. And a couple times. Wow, come on. There we go. Here, these guys finally came back from their mission. And so essentially, this is how the game kind of worked. You can buy rumors if you don't like the cards, and you'll notice all of the people have these symbols. So like these two are clerics, and this is a ranger. The cards over here have symbols on them. If they're on the right, it means your people are going to do double damage. And if the symbols are on the left, it means the enemy is going to do double damage. So like this would not be a mission to send them on because they're probably going to take a lot of damage. So let's do it. Oh yeah, one of them died and one of them's injured. So that's essentially the game. And, I really liked it. I thought it was cool, but I thought it could be better. So I created some merchants. These are the traveling merchants that you could possibly run into. And I remade the game in a more upgraded format. And that took a bit of time, but I essentially kept working on it after the jam ended. So the jam ended, and I thought, I really want to make this game. I thought it would be cool mobile game because you just, it's just tapping buttons. You're just clicking buttons on the mobile and doing your quests. But the game is pretty repetitive, and once you beat it once, then it is fun, I think. All my friends that did art for it thought it was fun. It probably because the game is fun and not just because they like seeing their art in a game. But I thought it was fun. So I kept working on it. And some of the stuff that I added eventually was I added those traveling merchants. I kind of redid how the UI was slightly. I upgraded it to be a little bit higher quality, though you can't really tell because the buttons are higher resolution. But I also added like levels to the characters, so they have levels now. I kind of remade how things work, so you brew ale based on ingredients that you collect. And getting new patrons costs gold instead of reputation. You also have this ability to, here, let's do a couple of missions really quick. You have this ability to table a party now. So I thought that was pretty cool. Like if your guys are getting injured, so, oh, there's one of the traveling merchants. So let's buy some yeast for 40 gold and upgrade our ale. Now we can brew more ale. We have 10 ale. And then we could, there we go. So a new guy randomly might show up now. And let's say, okay, I don't want to, let's send him on one mission. But now, ooh, he died. That stinks. That defeats the purpose of, I wanted to show you how tabling the party worked. But essentially, if you have multiple parties, you can table your party, tell them to, hey, sit tight and just kind of relax. And what's going to happen is when, oh, he's dead. Oh, there we go. So yeah, let's send these guys on a couple missions. There we go. Let's table him here. He's going to sit here. And now, hey, here's a party of 3. They're missing a guy. Why don't you join this party? And kind of adds a little creativity to the game. But there's not really much there other than that. But yeah, that's it. So I worked on the game a little bit. I added a little bit of stuff. I changed up the way the combat works. I made it a little bit cleaner. I ruined the tutorial. The tutorial doesn't work anymore, unfortunately. Now it's microscopic. When you try to actually join the tutorial, it's, yeah, it's really messed up. So that doesn't work. One day I'll fix that. But I kept working on it. And I think it's coming along really well. I think the game is super fun. I have a lot of ideas for like remapping the combat. I plan on adding different types of ales that you can brew so you can, you know, have like bonuses to them. And I also want to make the enemies a little bit different and how that works. I want to make it a little bit more clear about how actual combat's working so you can actually make good, educated choices. Maybe your heroes can have like special equipment that modifies them. And yeah, upgrade your tavern to have like permanent bonuses. Basically, I kind of want to take a deck building flow, but not make a deck builder, if that makes sense. So yeah, that's it. I just wanted to show this off a little bit and show what I had been working on for the Game Maker's Toolkit Game Jam back in July, and also I guess I could show you my result. And I did decent for the first time ever entering the Game Maker's Toolkit Jam. I came in 1,365th out of 6,805 entries, which honestly I'm really happy, especially since I did it in one day. And pretty much, I mean, all of the actual development was done by me. I did get help with art, like I said. I added one of my friends as a contributor because my 2 other friends don't have itch.io accounts. I did get open source like music offline, but I do plan on eventually getting music from my friend or my brother and adding it to this. But yeah, I really liked it. I thought it was fun. It's on itch.io, so if you go to my itch.io, you can play the game. It's free. Like I said, the tutorial doesn't work, so I apologize for that. It does kind of explain how to play down here, but this is really bad too. I promise I'm going to update the tutorial, and I'm going to keep working on this. The game that I'm going to be working on for the foreseeable future, I think I want to try to get this game done this year, 2023, and get it released and put it on mobile and Steam as well, probably just because, you know, not everyone wants to play a mobile game, and I think the game is fun in its own, but I think it would make a really good mobile game. So that's it. Thanks.